established the American Red Cross. Oh, I should have a small dinner party. I wonder who I should invite.
A message from Clara Barton.
This is Susan B. Anthony. She held prominent positions in many organizations such as the Women's New York State Temperance Society, the American Anti-Slavery Society, the Women's National Loyal League, and the American Equal Rights Association. Her attempt to vote in the 1872 presidential election got her arrested and convicted. In the past decade, she spent a lot of time traveling to other states to obtain suffrage. It was a miracle that Anthony actually received the invitation.
Thank you. Here you go.
This is Elizabeth Cady Stanton. She's well known for holding the Seneca Falls Convention in New York. There she shared the Declaration of Sentiments, which took on the style of the Declaration of Independence. It listed many grievances that women face, such as no voting rights and no property control. Stanton teamed up with Susan B. Anthony to form the National Women's Suffrage Association, one of her biggest accomplishments. Just like Anthony, she traveled a lot, but now Stanton is concentrating on her writing. She's currently working on a volume of the history of women's suffrage with Anthony.
Thank you.
Here you are.
Thank you.
This is Sojourner Truth. After escaping from slavery in 1826, she fought hard for abolition and women's rights. Truth also reunited with her family, including her son Peter, who was brought back to her after a court case that she won. During the Civil War, she even played a role in recruiting African American soldiers for the Union and persuaded others to donate items for African Americans who escaped the South. Her work in the abolitionist movement led to an invitation to the White House by Abraham Lincoln. If this woman isn't the definition of strong, I don't know what is. This is Emily Dickinson. She attended Amherst Academy where she developed a strong interest for botany. Most of the classes the school offered were science classes. This later contributed to Dickinson's career in poetry. Dickinson later attended Mount Holyoke Female Seminary but had to leave after 1 year to come back to the homestead, her family's home. Here, she began to write many poems. Dickinson shared some of these poems with family and close friends. She also had stacks of poems that she never wanted to share with anyone. Dickinson developed a secluded lifestyle. I honestly would be surprised if she even comes to my party.
I think you've got the wrong house. I never get mail.
Is this not Emily Dickinson's residence?
Hey guys.
Hi. Hi, welcome. Come on in.
Hey ladies, welcome. I just got the living room already, so come join me. So in case you guys didn't know, I'm Clara Barton. I just founded the American Red Cross. This is my lovely friend Sojourner Truth, and that is Elizabeth Cady Stanton, and we have Susan B. Anthony. Oh my, where's Emily Dickinson? We seem to be missing her. I do recall sending her an invitation though. Or did I?
I've heard a rumor that she sits in her room in the dark all day. Some people say she's a homebody.
I'll send my maid to go fetch her. Don't worry.
Is Emily Dickinson available?
This is she.
In that case, your presence is requested at the Barton's residence for the dinner party.
I don't think I'm comfortable with going.
But Miss Clara Barton has insisted on your presence.
I suppose I will go.
Right this way.
Oh, that must be Emily. Welcome, Emily. Please come in.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Emily. It's so delightful to see so many influential people in one room. As I'm sure you all know by now, the reason why I've invited you all here is to celebrate the establishment of the American Red Cross. Oh, but where are my manners? I will go fetch some sparkling cider. I mean, wine.
Wow, what a great accomplishment. I myself have founded the National Women's Suffrage Association with Susan.
We fight for every woman's right to vote. It was established because of the 15th Amendment. You see, the amendment only gives all men the right to vote. We're pushing for women to be included and to be given suffrage.
Here are some starters. We've got some fruit, and we've also got some cheese and crackers. Help yourself, but don't stuff yourselves because we've got a grand, delicious feast in the dining room shortly. Oh, looks like my maid is back with the wine. Enjoy. What have you all been discussing about? I heard so much chatter in the kitchen.
We were so amazed by our achievement that we began discussing our own. We were just talking about the women's suffrage movement.
I think that it's outrageous that the 15th Amendment does not include women. I have tried several times to vote in elections to change and protest this law. I am also an abolitionist as well as a former slave. I observed the brutal punishment and labor that was required of me. After running away from New York, an abolitionist family helps me to obtain my freedom, and my slave experience inspired me to advocate for abolition.
That is incredible. I also loved your Ain't I a Woman speech in Ohio. It was so empowering, and I'm sure it inspired many women, young and old, across the nation. So, Emily, what do you do?
Oh my, looks like dinner is ready. Ladies, if you could join me in the dining room for dinner, we have a feast awaiting us.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Today for dinner, we have mashed potatoes, a roll, some corn, beans, and a casserole. I hope you guys enjoy. So, did you guys hear about the guy in the Civil War? His left side got cut off. I helped him recover. Don't worry, he's all right now. It's a joke. Did you all get it? He's all right now because his left side was cut off. Oh, speaking of the Civil War, did you guys know that when Robert E. Lee was little, he was voted most likely to secede?
Too soon. I generally don't make Civil War jokes.
That's a good one.
So you get her jokes, but not mine? So, Emily, we never got to hear about what you do.
Oh, I just write poems. There's nothing special.
Can we hear one?
No, they aren't very good.
Are you one of those romantic poets? Do you write about love?
No, not really.
Well then, read us one of your poems so that we can get a better idea of what you write about.
Well, if you insist.
Does she just carry around poems in her pocket all the time?
Maybe. This is called Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. The carriage held but just ourselves and immortality. We slowly drove, he knew no haste, and I had put away my labor and my leisure too for his civility. We passed the school where children strove at recess in the ring. We passed the fields of grazing grain, we passed the setting sun. Or rather, he passed us, the dews drew quivering and chill. For only gossamer, my gown, my tippet, only tulle. We passed before a house that seemed a swelling of the ground. The roof was scarcely visible, the cornice in the ground. Since then, 'tis centuries, and yet feels shorter than the day. I first surmised the horses' heads were toward eternity. That's it.
Emily, that was so elegant and beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Emily, I love the symbolism throughout the poem, especially the symbolism of the house and how it represents the grave that Death and the narrator arrive at. I mean, that's just brilliant.
You wiffle waffle! A house is just a house!
I think the house definitely represents a grave, and I would know because I'm closer to the grave than all of you guys.
I don't get it. A house is just a house.
No, Susan, I'll explain later.
No, I need to understand
Wait,
now.
I think we have dessert coming in shortly. Let's begin. Anyways, as I was saying earlier in the living room, ladies, the American Red Cross was established by me to provide medical assistance with the help of volunteers. Now, obviously, that means I need volunteers, and I started this when I heard about the Red Cross in Geneva, Switzerland, where this originated. I wanted to open up a Red Cross here in the United States to help our own. That way, the United States would be able to participate in the worldwide Red Cross system as well. With the help of some of my friends, such as Frederick Douglass, I was able to create the American Red Cross in May. And I strongly encourage all of you to consider participating in the American Red Cross. I'm so excited about it, and I really hope you'll consider.
I will definitely consider volunteering.
Before we go, I'd like to make a toast. I'd like to make a toast in hopes for the success of the American Red Cross. I wish Clara the best as she continues to inspire and make great strides in her service to humanity. Cheers! Cheers! Emily, why didn't you make a toast?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was quite nervous and ended up having a lot to drink.
Thank you so much for inviting us all for dinner. It was very delicious.
Of course, I'm enthralled you all could come. Before I forget, I have some small party favors to give to you all if you guys will join me by the front door. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for coming tonight, Susan. I'm so glad you were able to come through your busy schedule. Here's a small little gift from me to you.
Thank you.
Of
It was
course.
so much
Oh
fun.
my god. Miss Truth, thank you so much for joining us. I know you traveled a far distance to be there. I just really appreciate your story and your time. Here's a little parting favor. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Of course. Miss Stanton, thank you so much for coming here tonight. I hope you had a lovely night. I love your work, and I hope we can talk and meet again soon. Here's the first aid kit for you, of course. Bye now.
Bye.
Miss Dickinson, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know you don't get out too much, so I was so enthralled to have you here. Here's a first aid kit from me to you.
Oh, I appreciate
Of
it.
course.
Thank you.
Of course.
I just have one final request, I guess.
course.
I was wondering if your maid could maybe walk me home again, because I don't get out much, as you said, and I'm a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have a little too much?
Yeah.
Okay, that's no problem. Hopefully you won't have to use the first aid kit tonight, but I will definitely
Hopefully,
send my
yeah.
maid around in just a minute.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you. Have
Wonderful
a good
to
night.
come. This is she.
Okay, now what's the next one?
Oh, I feel like that was
I
rude,
do not
though.
think I'm comfortable
That's
with
fine.
going.
But I have to look nervous first.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking nervous right now. Sorry.
Oh my, what is Emily Dickinson? I did send her an e-bite. Oh, speaking of the Civil War, did you all hear that Robert E. Lee was
Wow, what a great accomplishment.
Oh, hi, Emily.
Hello.
15th Amendment. You see,
I think that it's outrageous that the 15th Amendment does not.
Okay.
Well, if you insist. Because I could. This.
Anyways, as I was saying earlier in the living room, the American wait, what?
My gown, my tippet, only Tule. What the frick is this word?
Oh my god, sorry, my phone is falling. Cannot have that.
Ladies, I hope you enjoyed peach pie. Dig in.